G'day, Martin here, just out in the paddock, checking on the mungs, doing some grub counts, just ahead of an insecticide trial that's going to be going down tomorrow. So just thought I'd spend a bit of time talking about mungs, what they are, what they're like, and a bit about growing them as a crop. And I'll just caveat all of this to start with by saying this is my first time growing mungs, and look, it's going pretty well, so I might just quit while I'm ahead and make it my last. I don't know. But anyway, let's have a bit of a look. So this is the mung bean crop. Now, it's a fairly common crop in my part of the world, and yeah, it sort of is grown really from here, Moree, Narrabri, that sort of way, up into the Darling Downs, up into central Queensland, and yeah, those sort of areas. It's a pretty short season crop. Your typical growing length on the Darling Downs is about 90 days. Down here, we're probably closer to 120. We stretch it out a bit just because we're a bit cooler, we don't get as hot. And in this part of the world in particular, it's seen as a bit of an opportunity crop. You can grow it behind cereals and that sort of thing. And that's what we've done in this situation. We had barley in here. And after this, we'll probably run it back to sorghum or cotton next year. One of the great things about it is it's a legume, and yeah, so it adds a fair bit of N to the soil. So what makes a good mung bean crop? Like any other crop, you've got to start from the ground up. You want to tick all the boxes first before you plant. Do you have enough moisture? We had a stack of rain at harvest, downgrade to a heap of barley, but got a full profile, so we're pretty safe to sow. What are the residual herbicides like? Did we use anything in our cereal crop that's going to affect them? Things like Lontril. Pixaro's got a plant back. Secura's got a plant back. There's a lot of herbicides out there that have a plant back to mung beans. So you've got to make sure that you haven't used any of them. Tord and Ally, they're another two. Next, you've got to select your seed and then select your inoculant. Mung beans use a lot of N, so they've got to be nodulated well to perform well. And part of good inodulation is getting that seed into moisture. Not this paddock, but another paddock, the seed went into dry ground in header wheel tracks, and you can really see those plants are yellow, they're stunted, they look like crap, they just don't have the N under them. I even know of some people that will apply urea to mung beans, just because mung beans are a very N heavy crop. So, bit of an example here, a bit hard to see in the video, and it's not helped that I pulled this plant up, I didn't dig it up, so you can't really see the nodules on there. But we made sure we thoroughly inoculated these plants. We added another product called Endofuse, which is a biological product made by Sumitomo, and look, the data's there. It's expensive, but the data's there that made me think, well, I'll do it. And well, I don't have any test strips. Look, I'm glad I did it. It's yeah, the nodulation's great, and I can't really complain. So once it's out of the ground, you've got to keep it weed free, particularly if it's a double crop situation. You're probably going to get a lot of volunteer barley, wheat, oats, whatever it was you're planting behind. And if they come up, they can outcompete the young mungs fairly easily. I've got another section in this paddock way over there where we had very, very heavy barley, a lot of it lodged. It wasn't picked up, so there's a lot of seed there. And between just getting a poor establishment through that heavy matting and yeah, and then the volunteer barley, the plant stand is terrible. If the whole paddock looked like that, you just put the cattle on it. It's a mess. So one of the big things with growing mung beans, just like any other pulse, is keeping the bugs out of it. Your major pests in mung beans, well, your number one is your Helicoverpa, your grubs. Other ones we've seen this year are green veggie bug. Also get a few assassin beetles, a few other things, but your Heelys, they are the main one. And there he goes, he's just fallen off me. So we'll have a spray rig coming in tomorrow to clean them up. And your timings are very important on a little short crop like mungs. You want to get in, you want to hit them hard, you want to clean them up. It's a low tonnage crop, high dollar value, so everything is critical when it comes to timing. You want to get in there early, you want to smash them hard, and if you can, try and get something out there with a bit of residual. It's a short crop, pay extra, you may not have to spray again. It's yeah, that's sort of my methodology anyway. So as I said earlier, one of the key pests for mung beans is grubs. So we can see here we've had a few just nibbling away at the leaves, taking away a bit of leaf area, knocking around that photosynthesis, reducing the energy that the plant gets. But that's not that bad in the scheme of things. Where they really do the damage is here, when they start chewing your pods and eating the seeds inside, because that's what you get paid on, that's where you make your money. And you know, mung beans worth about $1,000 a tonne. You lose 1 kilo per hectare, that's $1 per hectare. So it's yeah, it's pretty easy for a grub spray to make its money back. See here, we got another one damaged. I reckon if I crack him open, no, I can't actually see a grub in there. He's thought he might have been inside, but anyway, you can see the damage that they do. So that's why it really pays with mungs to keep on top of your diseases and your pests. They're a short crop, so if you can keep them, you know, in good order for that little short growing window, you can really make your money back by yeah, keeping on top of those pests. So after about a month and a half, your plants will start budding and then flowering, and that's what a mung bean flower looks like. From that, you'll get a range of pods starting to appear, just like that, and it'll keep flowering away as long as conditions are right. And then those pods will start filling, just like that, from these little terminals, and eventually they will turn black when they are ready. The pods will turn black just like that once they reach physical maturity. So nice, hard, brittle, ready to go through the header. But you'll still find that out in the paddock, we've still got a lot of plants that are flowering, and it is possible that you'll have a plant that is full of black pods, but it's still flowering if conditions go right. If you're getting that rain, you're getting that moisture, it's still warm enough. The mung bean plant is an indeterminate plant, so it'll just keep growing as long as the conditions are right for it to keep growing. And for that reason, as soon as we get to about 90% black pods, that's when we spray it out, and we'll run the header in there a week or two after that. One of the other things we did earlier in the season was we put out a bit of foliar nutrition at flowering. Over the years, I've found that giving the crop a bit of something extra at the start of flowering can really help boost yields. In some cases, that's extra potassium. In this case, what we've done here is we put out a liquid blood and bone, which is a fair whack of everything, bit of N, P, K, S and a few traces, along with a product called Boron Extra, which adds boron, funnily enough. The reason we do that is boron helps to retain flowers, and mung beans are very sensitive to cloudy weather at flowering. So the more flowers we can have, the more pods we can have, the higher the yield will be, and the more money we'll make. It's really just that simple. At the end of the day, if you can keep on top of your weeds, the grubs away and the disease at bay, which funnily enough, we found a bit of powdery mildew just after this was filmed. That's another one you got to look out for. Then this is what you'll be left with, mung beans. Nice, green, shiny beans, ready to be sent off to China, Bangladesh, the rest of that Southeast Asia area for use in cooking. So I hope you enjoyed this video, gave you a bit of an insight into growing mung beans, what it's like, what you've got to look out for, how to set up for a good crop, and hopefully you have a bit of success and she all doesn't get taken away by that big white header, because I dread about that every night.